Hello, welcome back to Minagoroshi. We're on chapter 8. I did not notice we were that far in. For some reason I thought we were in like chapter 6, but no, we're getting there. We're digging deep. It's probably because we haven't had the Watanadashi yet. But yeah. Um I am extremely sore from work for some reason. I am a sore lad, and I'm pretty sleepy, but I'll wake up in a little bit, get the blood and the brain flowing. But yeah, it's a good week. I guess it technically didn't happen yet, but I did finally finish Rants 3. It's only 24 episodes, but it literally, since it's only 4 episodes a month usually, I feel like it's been forever. It's an interesting series. I think it's my second highest rated or viewed series, and it's like a good chunk of my subs are probably from rants. It's like zero crossover for reasons. It's me diversifying my videos. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just play rants 4. I was thinking initially of replacing it with Corpse Party for Sundays, but like it's a once in a week thing, and I think I have a good chunk of subs from people who only watch rants, so that would be pretty mean. But no, it's I didn't realize it's from 1991. It feels very innovative for an old RPG like that. Like position based, turn based combat, but you only control the main character and all your teammates just are AI and the computer does it, so it's an RNG fiesta. It's a good time, but yeah. Anyways, it was a journey. But you know what? We're playing Higurashi. And yeah, it reminds me everything comes to an end, dude. Imagine the stunts, the channel stunts after Higurashi. I don't want to think about that. So what happened last time? We had a festival meeting with Keiichi's dad was there. Everyone was kind of there. More people for the Satoko Defense Alliance. We got an Oishi one-on-one with Keiichi that ended up fist bumping. Turned into a bro moment somehow. It's a weird time. But this chapter, Satoko comes back to school. We have the bid protest. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see how this is. Get ready for some sadness. Hopefully no one breaks from Satoko's appearance at school. And then I feel like Keiichi's honestly pretty safe. He seems like he's really steeled himself as the leader of the Defense Alliance without killing Tepe. It's mainly just Shion, but this will just wait. Okay, wait, that I actually wasn't gonna make a joke, but I was about to say this will just have to wait and see, but that's not a good phrasing for our club members. So let's just let's see what happens. Let's just go into this. There you go. Without making it weird. Ooh, right into school? What POV? I bet it's Keiichi. It's been a while since Rika. Uh-oh. It's already started. Look at Shion. Look at Satoko, dude. The Child Consultation Center had finally contacted Satoko's uncle after finding out she was missing from school for 3 days in a row. I'm sure it's because of our efforts that Satoko was able to come to school today. However, we couldn't really celebrate after seeing her painful expression.
Satoko, 本当に心配したんだぞ。
この3日間、本当に何事もなかったんですか？3日間熱が下がらなかったんですの。 ご迷惑をおかけしましたわね。
She started telling us why she hadn't been at school. Nobody had even asked her that.
多分おじさんからそう答えるよう強く脅されてるんだと思う。あんな姿痛々しくてなんだか悔しいくらいだよ。
Rena seemed more angry than sad. Inside, I felt the same way. It felt like my anger was boiling up and lodging painfully in my throat. Hey. It's the CG I used for my Bud channel update. This was the same as in Higurashi, right? I think so. He was only letting Satoto come to school because he was now certain that she wouldn't do anything that would put him at a disadvantage. Because guilty thing, when I was looking for what to put on the glitch channel, I just typed in sad Satoto. I know that's a little cursed, but I was like frustrated, so I didn't think about the consequences. I don't think I saw anything besides like a couple dead Satotos. Which I mean, from the anime. I think that's from Maitashi, but yeah. So hopefully I didn't accidentally took a Minagoroshi CG. That would be actually tragic. We should probably take this as our thumbnail. Gotta pull the heartstrings. He was treating her like a tamed animal. Was it too late already? I thought of the broken Satoto I once saw in my imaginary world.
サトコ、お前はよく頑張ってるな。
当然ですわ。ニーニーがいなくても私は一人で頑張れますもの。
Ooh. Ambitious. I slowly reached out my hand towards her head.
お前がよく耐えて頑張ってるご褒美に
Should probably
頭撫でてやる。
take this too. I can't use the same thumbnail in 2 videos, so whichever variant I didn't use.
嫌か。
She didn't reply, but she didn't refuse either. I slowly put my hand on her head. Oh. Okay, at least she didn't. So, it's a nice way to measure if she's gone yet. So, she still feels... Oh my god. Look at that face. It really does hurt. The heart. She didn't react to it, but a tear rolled down her eye all of a sudden. I think she's reacting to it. In the CG, at least. Was she crying because she didn't want to be touched? No, that wasn't it. Rather, it was the opposite. If I stopped patting her head, I'd hurt her feelings. Satoto felt obligated to survive without her Nini. But that didn't mean she didn't want anyone else's help. She couldn't appreciate my patting her head openly. Satoto had no choice to cry in silence, but to cry in silence.
さとこちゃん、今は泣いても誰にも言わないよ。
After Rena said that, Satoto started crying like a baby. I felt relieved, knowing it wasn't too late. She hadn't suffered yet from the fatal emotion wound that I saw in my imaginary world. However, her tears made it clear that I needed to save her as soon as possible, no matter what the whole world might say to me.
さとこ、きっとみんなが助け出してくれますのです。きっとなのですよ。さとこ、ぼんやりしてたわけじゃないんだよ。ね、ケイちゃん。
おう、俺たちはな、児童相談所に訴えてるんだ。あのおじの野郎の非道と、サトコを一刻も早く助け出してほしいってな。
なことしてくださらなくても結構ですのに。
俺たちだけじゃねえぞ。なあ富田君。
僕だけじゃないです。岡村もクラスのみんなも戦っています。
She doesn't know the squad, dude. We have gathered so many people.
そうだよ。
Those people at the consultation centers got me scratching their head. Because it's kind of funny, because not, or you didn't say like, we don't have anything to do with her. It was more like Hinamizawa doesn't have anything to do with her. But we're about to bring a bunch of Hinamizawans to say
僕たちクラス
otherwise.
全員で相談所に押しかけてるんだ。もちろん今日も行くよ。ねえ前原さん。
ああ里子を救い出せるまで俺たちはくじけないもんな。
All the boys and girls in the class answered my calls with their cheers. Satoru seemed a little surprised, but then soon became expressionless again.
だから相談所の方が来ましたのね。余計なことをなさらなくてもいいのに。
さとこ、ひょっとして相談所の人が来たことによってあいつから何かいじめられたりしたんですか？
She wouldn't answer. I couldn't tell what that silence really meant. Soon after Chia-sensei entered the classroom, she must have heard the noise we were making.
北条さん、体の具合はもういいのですか？
We didn't know for sure if she was really sick or not. All of us, including Chia-sensei, were feeling the same thing.
ええ、おかげさまで。本当にご心配をおかけしましたわね。もう平気ですのよ。
これからはちゃんと学校に来られそうですか？
ええ。だから本当にもうご心配なさらなくていいんですのよ。相談所の人になんか言わなくていいんですのよ。
北条さん、もし本当に辛くなった時は先生のお家へいらっしゃい。先生は北条さんの味方ですからね。いつでもいらっしゃい。
そこで先生だけに美味しいとこを持ってかれちゃたまんないね。さとこ、ここにいる私たちは全員味方だよ。
そうです。さとこもぜひ私のマンションに遊びに来てください。余ってる部屋もありますから、さとこのプライベートルームにしちゃっても全然 OK ですので。
Plus, you got Kasai in the next apartment over. Extra protection, dude. It's actually pretty smart, because what's Teppei gonna do? Come and then bump with Kasai? We already know how that would end.
ダメです。さとこは僕の家で飼ってるのですから。早く僕のお家に帰ってこないとダメなのですよ。みぱー。
I felt that coming.
なあ里子は一人ぼっちなんかじゃない。みんながお前を助けようと今必死になっているんだ。
But I don't know if people at the Child Consultation Center will ever understand how we feel. If what Oishi-san told me yesterday was true, then once they learn this isn't the will of all Hinamizawa, once they learn it's only her classmates creating a stir, they might harden their stance against us. Not if we bring 60 people, dude. If you keep escalating, then it's a problem. I feel just like a public problem too, because what would people think? All we had planned was to go there with more people and ask for the same thing. The Child Consultation Center was going to say the same thing to us too. It wasn't going to be any different from yesterday. They tell us that it's only normal for her uncle to take care of Satoko because he's legally her guardian. They'd also tell us that there's no proof for any abuse happening. Oh, dude, gotta give a shout out to Yo, that's Tay? Or Yo, that's Tay Tay? I don't, I don't remember your username, sorry. But he brought up a great point about this like situation with the social workers where they're like, oh, we believe Tepe's story where he got a job to help support Satoko. Why did they not ask for proof of employment? Like, it's a great point. That seems like a very basic request from a guy that doesn't have a great track record. They didn't even ask for any proof, because he literally wouldn't, because he doesn't work. It's so half-assed. It's like, again, I can kind of understand why they want to be cautious, why they can't just say, oh, well, just because you think he's trying to do it, we can't just take away Satoko. But, like, they didn't even check the proof of employment. They didn't. They feel so half-assed. I don't know, like, yeah, it feels like you could make an argument before, but there's just so much things wrong with it where these social workers are actually just shit at their job. Or they're just like, it might just be a super laziness, which is kind of sad to say, but I don't know. Obviously, but like, yeah, that was a great point. I was like, that's a zinger. I wish any of the club members could bring that up. Because that would actually be a nice sucker punch. Not even a sucker punch. It's a nice blow that slips through the guard, I guess. Because Satoko won't admit she's being abused.
お気持ちだけで十分ですのよ。本当に大丈夫ですから。嘘だよ。
Rena spoke with a smile, but her words cut sharp.
さとこちゃんは大丈夫なんかじゃない。さとこちゃんはみんなを騙しきれてなんていないよ。ここにいる全員が、いや、もっともっと大勢がさとこちゃんが苦しみ悲しんでいることを知っているよ。だから私たちはさとこちゃんを助けるために立ち上がって精一杯頑張ってる。悲しい沼に胸まで浸かりもがいているさとこちゃんにみんなで手を差し伸べている。でもそれだけじゃさとこちゃんを救えないの。
そうなんだ、さとこ。相談所側は俺たちの言い分に耳を貸しつつも、さとこ本人が虐待を否定するから虐待はないの一点張りなんだ。俺たち全員がさとこを救いたいと思っても、さとこが受け入れてくれなければ救えないんだ。
私とても昔に逆の立場だったことがあるの。どうせ誰にも自分は救えないと、自分が今していることが最善手だと、そう思い込んでいるから仲間が差し伸べてくれる手を受け入れられないの。でもその時顔も思い出せないけどある人が言った。本当に選びたかった世界はすぐそこにある。でもそこへ至るには向こうのみんなとこちらの自分が互いに手を伸ばし合わないとダメなの。私たちだけが手を伸ばしても意味がない。だからさとこちゃん、あなたも手を伸ばして。それで互いに手をつかみ合って初めて私たちは元の世界へ戻れるんだから。
Come on, Satoko, that was kind of an epic speech. How can you say no?
レナ、それを誰に？
Was that actually a quote by Keiichi? Probably. I didn't notice. Maybe that's why it was an epic speech, because it's a Keiichi speech. Rita, you're just noticing, dude. I feel like there's so many signs that literally everyone is remembering the past worlds. I'm telling you, it's an Omega miracle. She was just too depressed about it.
覚えてない。
Literally. It's still blessed. It's still a high roll world. You just got the Tepe roll, which is a stinger, I guess.
きっと幼稚園よりも小さい頃なんじゃないかと思う。いつどこで誰になんて覚えてない。
Before you went to kindergarten. Who remembers pre-kindergarten years? I do not.
でもその時の気持ちを私は今でもはっきりと思い出せるの。 あの時の気持ちがあったから今日の私がある気がするの。
そうだな。レラに言ったそいつは間違ってないぞ。
You wouldn't reach
サ
Heichi.
トコは今助けを求めないのが強さだと思い込んでる。
It would be great if we can turn around Satoto. That's what I was gonna say. It's probably like the best way to do it, to turn around Satoto. And it's like, can you really do that? Well, she's not broken. Everyone's working together. You're not Keiichi, the magician of words. It's like, you have a good shot. I feel like just saying, would Satoshi approve of this is might be too blunt, but it's like, you kind of have to work up to that idea. That's like the ultimate end goal. Or just like friendship power. It's always good.
それが最善手だと勘違いしてる。いいか、違うんだ。自分の顔を鏡で見てみろ。それが望んだ世界を掴んだ顔か。違うだろ。サトコはこんな世界、心のどこにも望んでなんかいない。俺たちはサトコを元の世界に連れ戻せる。そしてその手を伸ばしてる。その手はサトコの鼻先のところまで伸びてるんだぜ。だがあともうわずかが届かない。届いてりゃ髪の毛を踏んづかんででも引っ張り出してる。だがそのわずかが届かないんだ。だから掴め、お前が掴め。手を伸ばしても誰にも届かないから観念するなんて言わせねえぞ。お前の鼻先に俺の、いや俺たちの手があるんだよ。だから掴むんだ。手を伸ばすだけでいい。あとは俺たちが元の楽しかった世界へ引っ張り上げてやるから。
Satoto wouldn't reach out her hand. She just stared at mine as though praying for something. Her fingers were shaking, but Satoto wouldn't try to reach her hand towards mine. I felt like screaming out in anger, but I didn't want to scare her. If I did that, she'd never trust me again. All I could do was to wait for her to reach out her hand.
ありがとうですわ。本当にありがとうございますですわ。でも本当に平気ですのよ。本当に。さとこ。
もう少し時間がいるんだよ。
Satoto needed time to sort out her feelings, but her time limit was getting closer and closer. It was unfortunate that Satoto didn't even realize that herself. The next moment, we heard someone approaching our classroom. By the sound of the footsteps, we could tell that it was the principal. And so, I couldn't tell why Satoto was twitching like she just got electrocuted. The door quickly opened and the principal strode inside. He seemed relieved to see Satoto back in school. However, Satoto reacted both dramatically and bizarrely. He has that tepe step. Or did she think it was Satoshi coming back? I don't know. She let out an inexplicable scream, ran to the back of the classroom and hid behind the curtain. No one in the classroom could understand her actions. Well, probably not Satoshi then. Yeah, Tepe. This like happened also, I think, in Higurashi. We never even considered that it was because the principal had entered the room. The principal, however, realized it immediately. Hey, social workers, you wanna come and see this situation? Is Tepe a good uncle? Huh? Satoto was scared to see him.
北条君、大丈夫かね?
He spoke in a kind voice, but Satoto was still afraid. It was plain as day to all of us that Satoto was frightened at the sight of the principal, but none of us could understand why.
大丈夫か、サトコ。何も怖がることなんてないぞ。ここには味方しかいない。
おじさまが おじさまが
Everyone here thought for sure that Satoto's uncle had shown up together. We all rose up at once, shielded Satoto in a circle, and searched the surroundings. I had yet to see our uncle's face, but we were in school now. If someone unfamiliar showed up, I could spot him immediately. If he tried to force Satoto to leave, then forget everything else. I'd end the fight right here. Minagoroshi and I are thinking the same thing. However, while Satoto remained frightened, we couldn't find any sight of her uncle. Satoto was trembling, as if he was already here inside our classroom, but there was no sight of him. Finally, I realized the truth. Satoto was frightened by the figure of the principal. I could understand that she'd be scared of his footsteps, but she was still terrified after he showed his face. This was not normal. It was made clear to me how much stress Satoto was dealing with. Rika-chan hushed Satoto and whispered into her ear.
大丈夫ですよ。おじはいませんです。意地悪なおじはいませんですよ。でもそこにおじさまが私を連れ戻しに来たんですわ。落ち着くのですよ、サトコ。今日のお注射はちゃんとしましたですか？おじさまが
注射って何の話だ、リカちゃん。
ケイチ、急いで入江を呼ぶのです。サトコが大変だと言えばわかりますです。
So this is a sign of the illness?
早くチエ、サトコを保健室に運びましょうです。どうしたの、サトコちゃん。サトコちゃん。
とにかく監督を呼ぼう。医者に見せるしかない。で、誰か監督のところの電話番号はわかるか？
私がわかるよ。職員室の電話を借りよう。
I headed to the nurse's office after I asked Mia to make a phone call to the doctor. There was a lot of students surrounding the office. Gio-sensei was forcing out the other kids who had entered the room with them. I snuck behind her and entered it myself. Satoto was lying down on the bed, still shaking with fear. Rena and Rita-chan were with her and were trying to calm her down. I spoke quietly, so as not to scare Satoto.
サトコは大丈夫なのか？どうしたってんだ、一体。
よくわからないけど、校長先生の姿がおじさんに見えたみたいなの。
Hearing that made it easier to understand, but it was still hard to believe. He had been right in front of us and had spoken to her in such a kind voice. It was really hard to believe that she couldn't tell that it was the principal.
壁に黒い点が一つあったら、ケイチやレナはそれが何に見えますですか？
Oh wait. I did not notice my door was open. Oh well. I don't know. I don't really have any dark spots. I guess it depends how big it is. If it's a tiny dark spot, I might think it's a bud, because I don't like buds.
ハエが嫌いな人ならきっと
Oh.
ハエだろうと思いますです。
It's true. And by buds, I mean spiders. We all know what happened with spiders. I got cursed by a spider not too long ago. A couple months ago.
雲が嫌い
It was
な
a
ら
bad
雲、
time.
ゴキブリが嫌いならきっとゴキブリに見えますです。人は識別のつかない何かがあった時、無意識のうちに一番自分にとって嫌なものでないことを確認しようと強く意識するのです。
さと 里子ちゃんは近づいてくる校長先生の足音を聞き、とっさにおじさんを思い浮かべたということ？
でも校長が実際に姿を現してもまだ怯えていたぜ。
その誤解がすぐに解けなくなるのが里子の病気なのです。
What does she mean, illness? I tried to ask Rita-chan that, but Satoto was becoming more frightened. Rita-chan held her hand gently and tried to calm her down. Rena tapped my shoulder. She was indicating to me that we should leave Rita-chan and Satoto alone in the room. I agreed with her. Satoto was in tremendous shock.
じゃあ俺たちは教室へ戻ってるよ。
お願いしますです。
Rena and I left the nurse's office. My classmates were still asking Chia-sensei about Satoto's condition. As soon as they saw me, they walked over and asked how she
みん
was.
なとりあえずはリカちゃんに任せよう。サトコは今とても怯えやすくなってるんだ。だから怖がらせないようにしてやってくれ。多分ここで騒いでいるのもサトコには怖く感じるんだと思う。
教室へ戻ろう。きっとすぐに監督が来て様子を見てくれるよ。みーちゃん、連絡は取れたんだよね？うん。大至急来てくれるって。それまではリカちゃんに任せて安静に。絶対に保健室から出さないようにだってさ。はい、皆さん、教室に戻りなさい。朝のホームルームを始めますよ。
While the teacher took our attendance, a car arrived on the school premises. Everyone's attention was drawn to it. So I'm guessing from Higurashi. I mean, yeah, I guess we just have to wait and see what the illness reveal is, huh? Because, like, if it is, it does seem to be, what is it, like, you see illusions or whatever? Or, because I don't know if it kind of does seem like paranoia. Like, what if it wasn't, like, a misunderstanding thing with Keiichi, and what if he just had the disease? But maybe it's different? I don't know. It's hard to say. I might as well just wait until we get an official reveal at this point. 3 people with white gowns came out of the vehicle. Irie ran into the school in a hurry. We were surprised to see 3 people show up. It all made us worry that Satoko was in worse shape than we'd realized. Chia-sensei felt the same way. She left the class to Mion and hurried to the nurse's office. Despite our worries, Satoko returned to the classroom about 10 minutes later. She was still as depressed as she was in the morning, but she was no longer in a state of panic.
サトコ、もう起きて大丈夫なんですか？もう少し休んでてもいいと思います。ご心配をおかけしましたわね。もう平気ですのよ。サトコちゃん。
Satoko seemed bothered by the way we were worrying about her. Chia-sensei also returned to the classroom. At the same time, I snuck out so I could talk to Irie and his staff. I saw him talking with Rita-chan.
監督、サトコは本当に大丈夫なんですか？
前原さん。ええ、とりあえずは大丈夫です。しばらく様子を見てあげてください。
ちょっとした発作なのです。もう大丈夫なのですよ。
発作ってそういうもんなのか？そういえばさっきも保健室でサトコのことを病気だみたいなことを言ってたけど。
では私はこれで失礼します。何かあったらまた呼んでください。
Coach bowed and left without making any comment. It was like he was avoiding my question about Satoto's condition.
圭一、誰にも内緒と約束できますですか？
あ、
聡子は数年前からちょっとした病気なのです。ずっとその治療を受け続けていますです。
It was surprising to hear that. That meant she was already sick when I first met her. I'd never seen any sign of that though.
その病気は簡単には治りませんが、ちゃんとお薬と治療を受けることで普通に生活することができるのです。
そうなのか。でもだったら問題ないじゃないか。リカちゃんに打ち明けられるまで聡子が病気にかかってるなんて考えもしなかったもんな。あれだけ元気に過ごせるならそれで十分だよ。
Well, no. She was hardly in a good condition, so that makes me hesitate to use the word fine. What kind of disease could Satoto have? Based on what I saw earlier, she might have a mental illness rather than a physical one. It might be because of how she was abused in the past. I've heard that mental trauma is not easy to cure and it needs medical attention at times. That must be going on with her. Well, usually doesn't require weekly shots, or is it? No, it's daily, twice a day. Well, maybe that's not true. I actually don't know.
聡子は実は毎日2回のお注射をしなくてはいけない体なのです。ですが朝からいろいろとおじに意地悪をされていたせいで今朝のお注射を忘れてしまったようなのです。
それはつまり注射を1本忘れると聡子はあんなに怯えてしまう状態になる。
But my thing again is, if like Keiichi or Shion killing people because of like a side effect of the disease is the, I mean, I guess it made sense actually. Never mind. Scratch that.
ということなのか。
Rika-chan nodded quietly. Really, it was quite a shock. The Satoto I knew is an energetic and mischievous girl who's always bouncing around like a super ball. I couldn't believe that she'd turn into a scared little animal just by forgetting to take a shot.
注射を忘れると聡子はとても怖がりになってしまうのです。すると何かが起こったり聞こえたり現れたりするだけでそれらが聡子に危害を加えようとしているように感じてしまうのです。
つまりさっきの場合は校長の足音を聞いておじが学校に乗り込んできたように感じたというわけだな。
そうです。聡子の場合はその足音をおじだと思い込んだらそうなってしまうのです。校長が顔を見せて優しく語りかけたとしても聡子の中ではその人物はもうおじになってしまったので何を言おうとおじが言っているように聞こえてしまうのです。
さっきリカちゃんはその誤解が解きにくくなる病気だと言ったな。嫌なことと思い込んでしまったら誤解が解けない病気か。なんて病名か聞きたくもないな。気の毒だぜ。それにそんな病気と戦いながら今日まで頑張ってきたんだなあいつ。
でも圭一、どうかこの病気のことは聡子には言わないであげてほしいのです。
Why not? I guess I shouldn't ask. It might not be a nice thing to talk about her mental illness. I guess that's what she's trying to tell me.
聡子はさっき教室に戻ってきたがもう平気なのか。
とりあえず入江が聡子のお注射を持ってきてくれましたのでもう大丈夫です。
She's seriously sick to the point where she requires the doctor's attention. I realized something in the next moment.
が聡子が急病で倒れたってことにして入院させちゃうのっていい手だったとは思わないか。
We can force her to stay in a hospital even if she refuses. That way we can save her from our uncle. Yes, that's a great idea.
もちろんそれは入江が提案しました。ですが聡子が断ったのです。
聡子が断るとか断らないとかの問題じゃないだろ。
圭一、聡子が家に帰らないとニーニーの部屋を片付けられてしまうのだそうです。
何？
聡子にとって北条の家はサトシが帰ってくるまで守らなければならない場所なのです。
He was taking advantage of her? Teipei was telling her that he'd get rid of Satoshi's room if she didn't stay with him?
汚ねえ野郎だ。
圭一、他のみんなには言わないでください。C は感情を抑えるのがうまくないので、知ったら短気を起こしかねませんです。
She brought up Shion, but I was also furious about it. I had to calm down though. I needed everyone's help in order to save Satoko. I couldn't ruin everything by acting foolishly. I had no time to stop.
くそ、聡子が助けてと一言でも言ってくれりゃどうとでもなるのに。
Just because she hadn't asked didn't mean she didn't need it. As her friends, we had to help her. Especially after learning that he was controlling her by threatening to get rid of Satoshi's room.
いや、そのサトシの部屋を片付けられてしまうってのを話したのこそ、助けてと直接言えない聡子が遠回しに明日明白な助けだ。
Rita-chan nodded slightly.
圭一、聡子を助けるために残された時間はもう長くはないのです。
That I was all too aware of. She had a panic attack just because she didn't take her shot this morning. But if she stayed in her current environment, it'd be too late to save her in a matter of days. I saw her future when I saw Satoko crying behind the curtain this morning.
今日で3日目だ。人数はすでに初日の10倍以上に膨れたが、まだまだ行くぜ。
圭一、
Can we get a one-on-one with Oryu? Let's convince her.
聡子を救うのは簡単なことではないのです。これまでに何度も試してきて一度たりとも成功したことはないのです。
そうなのか。
圭一は覚えていない話です。でも今回の圭一は違う。今までに一度も見たことのない方法で、あと一歩で聡子を救えるところまでこぎつけていると思いますです。僕は圭一が運命なんてあっさりと破ってしまえる力のある人間だと信じています。
What did she mean when she said I didn't remember? I didn't have time to ask questions, though.
ああ、そうだな。運命なんて俺があっさり打ち破ってやるぜ。
Pew, pew. Protest time? Let's let them see the whole squad. A huge crowd had formed in front of the library. It was hard to believe that over 50 people had assembled in front of such a quiet place. It's Kameda and the Titans.
今日は面白くなってきたぜ。今日のリーダーの前原さんだ。挨拶しろ。
Sportsman. Hey, I heard some otaku voices in there. Don't slack on it. Kameda-chan had brought a bunch of athletes with him. They were all very tall and full of spirit. Being greeted by a bunch of big people at once made me feel uncomfortable. Oops, I shouldn't feel so intimidated. The commander can't act bashfully in front of his troops. Following after them were our nameless comrades who sympathized with our plight at Angel Mort yesterday. I hate to say it, but I never expected any of them to actually show up. Seeing them all here to support us made me feel glad. They seemed plenty pumped up too, raising uproarious cries, shrieks. Kamita-kun did so much for me. He brought not only his teammates but also people from Angel Mort. I didn't thank him enough.
水臭いぜ、ケイ。俺たちはエンジェルモートの義兄弟っすよ。デザフェに行った連中の噂だと、夏の新デザート、恥じらいの青い果実サンデーが最高にいいらしいっす。
For some reason, I thought that said innocent blue suicide. I'm like, what a name for a dessert. But now it's a Sunday.
一緒に青い果実をむさぼり食いに行きましょう。
Yo. Tomodachi! In the tank top, back in its original gear.
おお、すごいね。これを全部君が一人で集めたのかい？
And Taki Takano.
ここまでとは思わなかったわ。やるわね。
富武さん、高野さん、どうしてここに？
Oh yeah, Rena wasn't there, but at the conference thing.
あ、レナは知らなかったか。夕べの祭りの実行委員会の席でね、今日への参加を表明してくれたんだよ。確か監督も来るはず。
お待たせしました。遅れて申し訳ございません。
Bam, bam, bam. You know what? I'm calling it here. I know I should have called it earlier then, but it's been a work day. And I know, but I'm tired. I started late. It's 1:20 a.m. I'm feeling this is going to be a 2-hour banger. If it's not, then we'll just put in the extra time for next episode. But I'm gonna call it there. We pretty much got some sad Satoko stuff at school. It's what I was expecting, but next episode should be hype. We have the war drums, we got the boys, the lads, the gals, all in tow to square off again. Let's see how the consultation center reacts. I feel like Tomodachi being there might actually even pressure them a bit more. Well, adults will pressure them a bit more, but also like he's a photographer, so they might think he's like a reporter or something. So that extra pressure, what can I say? But thanks for watching as always. I appreciate your views, and we'll have a good sesh next time. Yep, thanks. Bye.